Welcome to another exciting edition of Kicks Over Coffee. I'm your host, Matt Priest, and I'm super excited today to have my friends from Aetrex and Heeluxe. We've got Larry, we've got Geoffrey, we've got Justin, all here to have a conversation on shoe fit, on Aetrex, on technology. Gentlemen, before we get going, we do ask these questions. What are you drinking? Kind of what's your coffee forte, if you will? And Larry, we'll start with you as the world's greatest boss.
I'm an Office fan, so I got the best mug. It's coffee though.
What kind of coffee? K cup or cappuccino?
Yeah, K cup. It's an acid-free type of coffee. Taylor's, I think it's called, or Tyler's.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it keeps me a little healthier.
As we get up there in age, we gotta dial
exactly.
down the acid for sure. Get that reflux in check, right, Geoffrey?
That's right, man. That's right. I'm on that cusp right now.
What are you drinking?
Dude, so I got my Aetrex mug from the fine people over here. Getting me set
Product
up
placement,
today.
digging it.
Got the Nespresso. I will be straight up honest. I am normally not a coffee or caffeine guy because I'm running on like high octane fuel as it is. But just got off of a red eye and I'm like, oh, we got to bring it today. So yeah, I got my Nespresso with a ton of sugar in it and it tastes delicious.
That's awesome. I don't know how the world's greatest boss does not have an Aetrex mug that he's pimping out, but that's a whole different conversation. Hey, Justin, what about you? What you drinking?
It's funny. Last time I did this with you, I wasn't really drinking coffee, but this day and age, I went back to Colectivo, the tried and true from Wisconsin.
Nice. What were you doing? Tea last time, I think?
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of coffee every now and again, but I just got back into it and no complaints.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. All right. Well, speaking of getting into it, Larry, we're going to start with you. I'm going to ask you, tell me about Aetrex new software, Fit Starter, and how exactly it works.
Yeah, Fit Starter is part of our Fit AI component for our foot scanning ecosystem. And what's unique about it is that it integrates the technology that Geoffrey's developed at SmartLast, where the in-shoe analysis portion with AI from our Fit Genius system. So, as you know, AI feeds on data. So we have both this in-shoe analysis that's done combined with Fit Genius data. And it's designed to make it super easy for a shoe retailer to have a custom fit footwear program initially in store. And then eventually, once they have a certain amount of data, we can plug it in online as well.
That's cool. So, Justin, I'll hit you first, and then the next question, then Dr. Gray, I'll come back to you. How does Fit Starter differ from existing footwear fitting solutions that are out there on the market today?
No, great question. AI is the biggest differentiator that we utilize than the other systems that are in the marketplace. So to Larry's point, we have our 3D foot scanners out there that are collecting the 16 measurements of your foot. We can understand purchase and return history, and then tied with Geoffrey's SmartLast system, it all integrates together. So it's really a game changer in the space.
That's cool. Should I call you Dr. Gray, Doctor?
Jeff is fine for my friend. Matt. We're good.
All right. Appreciate it. I've been upgraded. Jeff, what about you? From your perspective, kind of how's this different than what's in the marketplace?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. I think number one, I always go back to the really simple equation. Fit is equal to foot shape plus shoe shape. And the more we can have more data for both of those working together, the more power that we're going to have. And so that to me was like one of the really interesting things is that, Aetrex has developed not only just a great way to scan feet, but a great way to database all of those foot scans. And for us, that matched up really, really great with all of the shoe data that we'd collected over the last 10 years of having, ways to quantify shoe fit at the Heeluxe labs.
Why don't you do a little bit what's like a 30-second up to speed? Who is Heeluxe for our viewers? Kind of walk us through your background and then how you got to this point.
Yeah, great question. So my background is in physical therapy, and I was always passionate about helping people, especially like with foot and ankle issues. Worked about 60% of my time with pro athletes and 40% of my time with everyday folks. And around 2008, started getting asked by footwear brands to start testing their product rather than just working with people's feet. And that was really the cornerstone of Heeluxe, was listening to those footwear brands of, hey, what do you want from your testing? And all of them wanted the same thing. They wanted to learn how to make their shoes better. And they wanted my team's opinion on how to do that. Fit was always one of those things that people wanted to measure, but there really wasn't a way to measure how a shoe fit on a human foot. And so brands kept asking us about it. They knew we liked to build stuff and build new testing equipment. So finally in 2014, we found a new sensor system that could work for actually quantifying shoe fit on a human while they were doing an activity. And that just blew everything up for us, because now we can measure fit and do it for every category. So I say we do it high heels to hiking boots. And so now we can really understand not just like, oh, fit is good. It's like specifically what aspects of fit need to change to be even better.
And where are you guys headquartered? Where's Heeluxe headquartered?
Our basis is in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh my gosh,
not a bad
beautiful.
place to be.
I wonder what massive brand who's kicking butt and taking names right now is also headquartered in Santa Barbara. But we'll let people Google that, because it is a beautiful city and a great spot to be located. Larry, how did you get connected to Jeff and the Heeluxe family and what they were doing? Kind of talk to us about that marriage and how you guys joined forces.
Yeah, I think we've known Jeff for probably 6 or 7 years now. We started working together, just doing research on our footwear with Heeluxe. And, once we came out with Albert 2, we started conversations about ways we can integrate SmartLast into what we're doing. It was kind of a missing hole. When we launched our initial Fit AI program for retailers, it required a lot of data where it's taken, even the retailers that have signed up, it's taken a long time for them to get the data needed to turn on the AI engine, especially the plugin for their website. And the great thing about the tech that Jeff's created is that it integrates into what we're doing and makes it super easy for a retailer. So I think the biggest difference with what we've developed with FitStarter is that a retailer, we launched this in December, and retailers that have signed up in January, we're starting to go live now in late February. So,
wow,
which is a real change from anything else out there. We can get from just agreeing to the contract, which is a tiny increase in SaaS fee. It's a very affordable program for retailers, and we can be live up and running in store in 4 to 6 weeks.
That's crazy. That's wicked fast for our Boston friends. Justin, you heard the world's greatest boss talking about like how these two came together. Who's using it? Can we name names? Let's get specific on how the systems are integrating and then who's using the system itself.
Yeah, to Larry's point, it's been a game changer, just how fast we can turn this around. So we have, we did a press release at the running event actually in late November, and it was kind of funny being there because there were so many retailers just coming by saying, hey, I read about that. I want it. Like, it was just not even an explanation from us. They just wanted it back in November. But since then, we've launched with MAP in Indonesia. It's their largest retailer there. Also Metro Brands as well in India. So it's another one of the leading retailers in India. Athlete's Foot Company based out of Dubai. And then in the US, we have some notable names such as Marathon Sports, Sole Provisions, Comfort One as well. So it's just, every week we're having people signing up for the Fit AI and Fit Starter program. So it's onward and upward, as we like to say.
That's cool. I'm a DC guy, so I know Comfort One well. It's my neighborhood shoe store, so that's a great partnership. I appreciate you outlining that for us, Justin. Now, Jeff, getting back to you on your side, what kind of drove the spark to push this relationship together? So much so it's so deep and so strong that you have an Aetrex mug. How did that all come together?
Yeah, I think again, I always go back to that simple equation. Heeluxe, I really view us as the innovators and kind of the people that are really driving forward. How do we measure shoe fit? But we knew that we needed somebody to complete that arc of how do we get foot shape in this. And so, Aetrex scanner was always something that really impressed us. But the other part of Aetrex was they were really looking at this as an ecosystem, not just like, oh, how do we get these fit recommendations in retail, but also how do we, collect the scan data and get it back to product developers. And that's the part where, most of Heeluxe testing goes to product developers. So we were hearing about all these brands that were like, using things like foot.com in addition to the Aetrex scanning. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Like, I wanted, to have like our data get to retail, which we couldn't do. I also wanted somebody to bring the foot scan data into product development. And then it just creates this cycle where the brands, once they're in that cycle, they're just empowered with all of this knowledge to really serve their specific customers better. So it was really just like the puzzle piece fit perfectly into where I was hoping to take our fit tech. And then the people at Aetrex are also awesome. Like it's, everybody here is treated like family. And from the first day that we had meetings, I was like, this just feels great. Like, so it was checked every box.
Yeah, we
That's
felt
awesome.
the same, Jeff. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool. And Larry, it's a testament to you and how, all kidding aside on your mug, how you're running an operation that, one, as Justin kind of laid out there, at the running event in November, people were willing to sign up just because they know you and they know the company itself, and you have that cachet in the marketplace. And then, couple that with Jeff's feedback for just hearing anecdotally people using your technology. That's all that's all the information Jeff needed to want to have a desire to come and join forces with you. So congratulations on that. From your perspective, what problem or need does FitStarter aim to address in the footwear retail industry?
I mean, the biggest problem that our Fit AI program, which includes FitStarter, addresses is the returns issue. So I think the motivating factor for us to develop this technology was that the crazy level of returns online. We find it hard to believe how many really great retailers are still using kind of this metal ruler in store, measuring one dimension of a complex shape to do shoe fitting. So, the benefits that this has for retailers, they're going to sell more shoes, they're going to have a much better fit experience in store, and they're going to reduce returns. We've been doing foot scanning for 20 years and 3D probably since like 2017. And we just keep doing everything we can to develop products that make it easier for retailers to get into this type of technology. And as mentioned before, Jeff's technology was really filled a hole that we had. So when we put this whole thing together, we were super excited, and the reaction out in the market has been so positive. So we think a lot of retailers are going to love the technology, and it's off to a great start.
That's awesome. I have a distinct memory, Larry, of you on the stage in New York City, circa 2022, I believe, in the summertime at the Footwear News CEO Summit. And you had these images of how the phone has evolved over time. And then you had the branding device and the branding device and the branding device and the branding device, one after the other. And it was just, let's face it, we all see a lot of presentations in our jobs, and not most of them don't stick. That one stuck with me and has continued to kind of reverberate in my mind. So again, I think you're really striking a chord, because at the end of the day, the consumer's not going to change. As much as we can shame them, say, stop returning stuff, they're just not going to change. So how do you solve that problem? You do it with technology in partnership with the retailers, and you guys have done that.
One of the exciting things since that presentation, which was less than 2 years ago, is that was all about AI and using AI to reduce returns. And but I feel like the industry and the world has learned so much about AI over the last year and a half, because of generative AI and ChatGPT and everything going on out there. So now today, when we're talking about AI, people really understand it at a different level than they did a couple of years ago. So
yeah, you're right.
Positive too. Yeah.
That is a great point, because I think ChatGPT was debuted December 22, so just 6 months later, 4 or 5, 6 months later from your talk, and it exponentially grew from there, and it became now it's just like everything's AI, everything everything we talk about is AI. So I think you're right. There's this kind of consciousness now that the public has that, one, I think the more you can show practical applications that this AI is not going to melt your face off or whatever, start, global World War X or whatever. I think the more you can show those applications and that it is a really impactful tool to be more efficient and effective, I think the better we'll be. And I think that you all are doing that. So Justin, that pivots to you. Kind of let's talk about the benefits for retailers who do adopt it. Larry talked about returns. Are there other things that are top of mind as it relates to how it benefits retailers and your partners?
Absolutely. So, as we all know, at retail, there's a ton of turnover, for the employees. So for a brand new employee to get hired and get onboarded and to utilize our technology that takes, it's as fast as 10 seconds, to scan a foot and get a footwear recommendation is a game changer. in this space. So brand new employee can simply just scan someone's foot versus the Brannock device, get 16 measurements of their feet, get recommended the proper shoe and in what size. So that's one benefit. The other one's going to be, at retail as well. A lot of folks will go into the back room 3 or 4 times. So they might be 15 people deep waiting to get fit for a pair of shoes. And if they just use the Brannock device, they're again guessing, they just get that length measurement. Typically, they go into the back room a few times. That fitting process can be 5-10 minutes. And we can simplify that to under a minute if we really wanted to, based on using FitStarter and then FitGenius for online. So there's a lot of applications that are beneficial for the retailer and the end consumer, at retail. So everyone's doing a great job making this, giving this more exposure at retail. So it's been really exciting.
That's cool. You're going from sit and fit to sit and fit starter, right? Because that's really going to help drive more. I'll give that to you. It's my free gift to you.
I like that.
Oh, it's my free gift to you.
Man, that's worth the price of admission right there.
There you go. There you go. You don't even have to credit me. Just say it came from FDRA.
That was great.
Larry, how does Aetrex ensure data privacy and security? We have a lot of, obviously there's so much data out there, and every time I go to Target or Walmart or one of these big retail, I assume my data will be leaked out at some point, or even the U.S. government will leak it out of the Office of Personnel Management, which happened to me as well. Talk to us about how you're securing data, because that's of critical importance anytime you're collecting massive amounts of data.
Yeah, I mean, it's top of mind for every major company we partner with, and all the data is stored on securely on AWS. But we have, our legal team is always keeping up with all the different data privacy laws in different regions. We even have different laws in different states now in the US, so that's a component of it. But everything is secured securely, and AWS is our primary partner for that.
That's good. They're the best in the business on that one for sure. Larry and Jeff, this is kind of, as we wrap up, the kind of final question, and anything else you want to throw at me or kind of articulate, please do. The same goes for you, Justin. What are the plans for future updates or expansion for the FitStarter program? Jeff, we'll start with you. We'll pivot to Larry, and then Justin, you can mop up behind both of them if they missed anything.
A couple of things. Larry mentioned earlier and Justin mentioned earlier, this is still relatively new to the market. So I think that there's still a lot of brands that are hearing about this and getting really excited about it. And the initial growth has been great. But there also are plans over the next year to kind of deepen our partnership. Like I talked about, we really look at this as like a full ecosystem where it's retailers, customers, and footwear brands all continuing to learn and gain more insights from all of this data. That really makes all of our lives easier. If the product development team has great information about what shoes fit well and what people's foot shapes are, that makes a better shoe go into the retailer benefits just in the way Justin just talked about. And at the end of the day, the consumer has a really, really good experience. And I think if we can make it easy to get to that good customer experience, that's a W. So we're rolling out some more partnership stuff. There's a couple of things under the hood that I probably can't share just yet, but it's coming.
You're teasing. Is it an Aetrex bow tie? You need an Aetrex bow tie. That's what you need next.
You know what? Quick thing. This is like the surprise for everybody. I only have 2. I keep my life crazy simple. I have 2 bow ties, and that's all I rock it, man.
That is a shocker. I'm gonna have to review. I'm gonna Google your name and look at all the images and make sure you're not.
I said the same thing. I'm like, there's no one to have 2.
Larry, how many bow ties do you
I'm
have?
on my second 2. Some of them got a little worn out, but yeah, I'm on 2. And then I do simple bow ties, and then my shoe closet's amazing. So that's
there you go. That's the priorities, my friend. Priorities. Larry, are you gonna don a Aetrex themed bow tie? Should you have one from Jeff?
I'm a lot more boring than Jeff in terms of dress code. It's all different versions of black T-shirts, pretty much. This is my winter version that when I find a shirt I like, I buy 5 or 6 of them. So
you're a tech CEO through and through. You got the whole thing going. So
and a little lazy when it comes to clothes. So. But I'll jump in on what you were asking Jeff about. But
sure.
As Jeff said, it's really an ecosystem, and what we're the centerpiece is really that scanner behind Justin. And what we're doing is we're developing different technologies that integrate with that to make it a full ecosystem for the stores. And Fit AI with FitStarter and Fit Genius is a big part of that. And our focus and development is really, we're going to keep doing what we can to make this easier and more affordable for retailers. So we really believe that our goal is to have something like this in every store. So our job is to keep making it, developing better technologies and technologies that are easy to add to retail facilities. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Justin, what did Dr. Gray and the world's greatest boss miss? Is there anything that you need to fill in the holes for them?
Nothing actually, that they did it all. But I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with Geoffrey and Heeluxe, because these, like when you mentioned Heeluxe and then Aetrex, people just like know what's going to happen, which is it's all good stuff. So it's been a fun partnership, and like Geoffrey said, there's a lot of great things on the horizon.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Matt, we're lucky to have FDRA too. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
cheers to you,
pleasure.
man.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
everything you guys are
It's
doing.
an honor. It's an honor to hang out with good dudes doing great work. So thank you for what you're doing. Where should viewers go? We'll link it in the comments below, but where should viewers go to check out the technology, Larry?
AetrexTechnology.com, or you
Okay.
can go to the technology section of Aetrex.com. Yeah, or call us and we can, on the website, you can set up a live demo.
Oh, cool.
Or you can just call here and we can demo it for you as well. Justin, anything, you're doing this more than me. Anything I'm leaving out for
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, we have a live demo feature on our website, aetrextechnology.com, and then we can kind of pivot from there. So it's yeah, super easy to get a demo from us.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for your partnership, your friendship, and what you're doing in the industry. And all jokes aside, you guys are doing great work, and this is a part of the solution that retailers need, and FDRA believes in it. We don't have these conversations with everybody, right? So we want to make sure that people understand that we believe in the system. We believe in, Larry, what you're doing, and Jeff and Justin as well. And so thanks for coming on Kicks Over Coffee. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for viewing. To our viewers, check out kicksovercoffee.com or fdra.org or shoeandshow.com for our podcast. We're pushing out a ton of content. We're in our 80th year and we're just getting started. So make sure you drop by for even more fascinating conversations. And next time, have a great rest of your day.